welcome to Beth Roars. I'm Beth and today I'm going to be doing a vocal coach reacts to Park Hyo Shin singing Wildflower. Before we start, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. My handle is @BethRoars. Also, please do check out my website, bethroars.com, where you can find more in-depth singing technique blogs. And you can also book a singing lesson from me. And last but not least, do check out my Patreon, which is patreon.com/BethRoars, where you can get more exclusive content and you can guarantee that your request definitely does happen, like this very request. This is a request from John. Hey John! This is one that I haven't heard before. Often with these requests I don't know them, and it's really nice actually to be listening to new artists that I have no clue about. Park is a South Korean performer who has worked a lot in musical theatre, and as you probably know, I love a bit of musical theatre. I love musical theatre vocals, so I'm sure it's going to be my cup of tea. Beautiful intro. Sounds like Craig Armstrong or that sort of style. Like Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. Beautiful tone.
얼음꽃 하나가 달가운 바람에 얼굴을 내밀어 아무 말 못했던 이름도 몰랐던 지나간 날들에 눈물이 흘러.
Wow, that's beautiful. It has got lots of hints of musical theatre in it. I loved how they set up the way that the piano had that big pause before he came in. It just had you on edge, so the piano playing in itself was great and the piano arrangement was great. But a silly thing, or it seems like a silly thing, but the breath. The breath before he started, he took this big, long, slow intake of breath. The sound of the breath is just as important to the listener as the notes themselves. Loads of studies have been done. If you cut the breaths out of music, it sounds much less emotional. And here, he knows his mic's very close, that everyone will hear that in-breath. And it makes everyone anticipate what's to come. Now after that, those first few phrases were fantastic. They were understated. A lovely, soft, even vibrato. He wasn't doing much. He was just concentrating on the feeling and setting the scene. It was really beautiful. It actually really got me.
차가운 바람에 숨어 있다 한 줄기 햇살에 몸 녹이다
A lovely light mix.
그렇게 너는 또 한 번 내게 온다 좋았던 기억만 그리움과 이만 네가 떠나간 그 길 위에 이렇게 남아
So he's very stable here, and this feels around tenor range, so.
잊혀진 만큼만 괜찮을 만큼만 눈물 머금고
Beautiful mix.
떨림 끝에 다시
And in the air. I love the change of sound on the keyboard.
서 있다 잊혀진 만큼만 괜찮은 만큼만 눈물 머금고 기다린 떨림 끝에 다시
Okay, I want to see what he does because so far it's been great. There's been nothing particularly wrong in terms of technique. His mix is very good. He is keeping it in quite a light place though, and he's not bringing that power. However, it is really, really beautiful in that there's something about it that just makes you have to be quiet and listen. He's the sort of singer, if you were playing like a normal pub gig and it was really, really busy, he'd start singing and everyone would drop quiet. There's something about the warmth and intensity of his tone that really draws you in. Now, all this backing is building up behind him and I'm hoping that I will get more from him in this part of the song. He's been using words, it's got the translation down at the bottom, like fire and things like that, so I want to hear that fire in his voice. Okay. I like that bit of growl. Yeah, great. Yeah, that's the tenor there.
Beauty, love.
Wow. That got me. Incredibly emotional. Oh, is he crying?
La 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 la.
Oh God.
La 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 la.
Whoa, God, that was so interesting. Oh, this is streaming down the screen.
감사합니다.
I found that so interesting because he didn't have as much dynamic range as some singers, yet he just draws you in. He obviously truly felt what he was singing. You could see by the tears rolling down his face. But at that moment where he just came back down and allowed his voice to break a little bit and the emotion to come through, the audience was silent. They were like... And then there was the pause in the music. The pianist is great, is really judging that emotion well with the singing. Also, there's something that's so safe about his voice. You feel like it's gonna be fine. Nothing is gonna crack. So actually, at first, I thought I want it to go more in these bigger places, to feel more. But actually, he did something very good and I was wrong in my initial thinking. Because he was so safe, when he came back down and it cracked, it made it all the more emotional because you were like, it's fine, he's fine. And then suddenly he's not, and you're like, oh goodness. It was a much more clever way of doing things than I would have initially gone for. Not that you even heard my thoughts, but I take back the thoughts in my head because I thought what he did in the end was well controlled, tasteful, and highly emotional. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!